ain't showing up right here. Here we go. Here we go. Y'all get on in here. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this situation as the Dallas Mavericks just lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Just when we thought that the Minnesota Timberwolves were down and out for the count, they managed to roar back with an Anthony Edwards leading the way. You know what I'm saying? And we here to talk about it. What happened, Dallas? I'll tell you guys what happened. Dallas spent a lot of time looking ahead, envisioning the ceremony of the Western Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? The trophy ceremony. I see PJ Washington with the fresh cut. You see all the Dallas Mavs players fresh and already feeling like they had already handled business. The only person that seemed to be locked in to me for the most part was Kyrie Irving. You saw Kyrie Irving yelling at his teammates. You saw him clapping his hands. You saw him telling them to stay, engaged, to stop making, all the stupid mistakes, that they were making. And it just came and bit them in the end. A few missed shots that could have been made, possibly could have won the game for them. And, it just didn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? It's a make or miss league for a reason. And, I don't see how the Dallas Mavs lost this game, honestly, because uh, Coach Finch seems to, not make the necessary switches, when it's time to make the switches. You saw Rudy Gobert. What is Rudy Gobert still clogging the paint for? You know what I'm saying? Because he's not getting that many rebounds. Let's just be honest. He's not getting that many rebounds. He's not getting, into uh he's not being he's just not balling at me. I'm sorry. Like this dude ain't doing nothing but clogging up the lane and turning the ball over. He's a goofy. You know what I'm saying? He blew two free throws in the end. And I'm trying to be nice about this and you know what I'm saying and not go all the way in on Rudy Gobert because there were some things that he did that were positive. You know what I'm saying? I saw him being aggressive in spurts, but it's just something about Rudy Gobert that makes you kind of not even be mad at the fact that Draymond Green choked him out. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I mean, he could have done a lot better than me, but that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? He showed up when it count. He blew two free throws in the end that I did not appreciate. But nonetheless, man, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they got away with the victory. And I believe it's because Anthony Edwards decided to put the team on his shoulders and just let people know, that he's here to stay and that he wasn't going to go out like that. So I do respect that. I really do. And Anthony Edwards also, he did a great job with his shot selection this time. Like he did a real good job with being aggressive. You know what I'm saying? I felt like game one, game two, he was overwhelmed. I felt like the moment was a little bit too big for him. I felt like, he was passing up on shots that he should have been aggressive. And I do think with this win, it's going to give the Minnesota Timberwolves a boost of confidence. I do. I think that it's going to give the Minnesota Timberwolves a boost of confidence and they're going to go back home and they're going to handle business. I think that they're going to handle business and they're going to, see live to see another game, and then they'll come back to, Dallas, and I think that they'll lose because I just don't see Luka and Kyrie, blowing this historic, you know, 3-0, what I'm saying, lead to let it go like that. I just don't see them doing that. I think if Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves were playing the way that they played tonight, which they did for the most part of the games, they've been leading, but the Dallas Mavericks just always managed to walk them back down. And they had to be better at that. And also, they don't have a lot of aggressors. I mean, I think that McDaniels, what's his name, Nas Reed, and Anthony Edwards are like the top three aggressors. I think Mike Conley can be aggressive in spurts, but he's a very small man. I think he's like 5'11" for the most part. There's only so much he can do. Plus, he's a veteran, so you can't expect that much out of him. But he did a fantastic job of literally holding it down when everybody got into foul trouble. You had Ant-Man on the bench, you had Cat on the bench, and Mike Conley was out there serving. You know what I'm saying? Being a great distributor, the point guard. He's one of the old-fashioned point guards, at least one of the old-school point guards that still, remain in the league. But I just feel like that the Minnesota Timberwolves survive this game, but it's going to take a maximum effort. And Karl Anthony Towns, bro, the fouls that this dude does, this box body ass, square pants ass young man, like, what do you be thinking? Like, what do you be thinking? You just out there fouling people for no reason, man. You out there making a fool of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You in foul trouble and you still manage to muck up the game, muck it up, just mucking up shit everywhere, man. But I do appreciate the fact that he came through, and hit that three in the fourth quarter, man. Just when I thought that he was shooting too much, he came through and hit that thing, man, and that helped the Minnesota Timberwolves a lot. I also feel like that Coach Finch has to work on his rotations, man. Like, you need space on the floor. We saw when they played small ball, they weren't able to get all those rebounds that they could get with Karl Anthony Towns and Gobert. The only thing is with Gobert is in the paint, man. It's like this dude glazed his hands with butter, and it's like, as big as he is, man, he's not aggressive at all, and I can understand why a lot of players don't like him. I truly do, man. Rudy Gobert, because I just want to see a good series. Don't get me wrong. I want Kyrie Irving to win it. I want to see Kyrie Irving go way further, you know what I'm saying, on his own without the narrative that LeBron James helped him and that LeBron James carried him. I want to see that happen for Kyrie. And I also want to see Kyrie Irving face off against the Boston Celtics where, you know, any chance he gets, he steps on lucky. So I do want to see that. And, they just got to be better. That's what it is. I don't see them blowing this 3-0 lead. I don't see them blowing it. It's 3-1 now. But if they mess around, because the Timberwolves definitely just got confidence. If they mess around and allow the Minnesota Timberwolves to get that confidence and Ant-Man starts to feel it, and then the team starts to come behind him and feel it, it's going to be over with. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be over with. They're going to catch spark, and then just this thing might go to 6, 7 games. You don't know. So Dallas Mavericks, if they have any type of sense of urgency, they're going to have to close this thing out. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to have to do this thing expeditiously, because, hey, it's a make or miss league for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't happened yet. And you heard Paul Pierce allude to this today on Undisputed. No one has ever come back from being down 0-3 in the NBA playoffs, but it's going to happen one day. Will that day be soon? Will it be in this year? Will it be with Ant-Man in this series? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Only time will tell. You take it one game at a time. You look at every game like it's your last game, and before you know it, man, you'll be back in the fight. Now, I am pulling to see Ant-Man at least get one more. Just get one more so it don't look as bad. You know what I'm saying? Because right now you got the same record, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of these NBA series have had the same outcome. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Edwards talk smack to Kevin Durant. You talk smack to Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray. So in a way, Anthony Edwards kind of calls a lot of this on himself. And sometimes people need that edge. I believe Anthony Edwards operates like that. Like, he's a shit talker to himself. I feel like he needs that edge. So he has to start a beef or start some type of back and forth with the home crowd or different players just to keep that edge and keep him going. I also feel like that once he loses or if he loses, that is going to be a humbling experience because he says a lot of immature things in the media, but the kid is only 22. I mean, the guy plays like he's 28, but the kid is 22, so there's still a lot of room for growth. He's a superstar ahead of his curve. So, their future is pretty bright. I do think that they're going to have to definitely offload Cat and or Rudy Gobert. Definitely Rudy Gobert because they need some dogs, man. They need some dudes that's going to feed into the Minnesota Timberwolves identity. And I sat there watching that game and I was like, who would be the perfect person to be on the Minnesota Timberwolves? It'll be Draymond Green. Because do you think all those bonehead mistakes would have been being made if Draymond Green had something to say about it? I don't. I really don't. I think that Draymond Green would have opened up a lot of things and made that thing functional and made people do their jobs because we see with a team like that where his value, where he can have impact. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that they need that type of guy or Pat Bev. Like, You know what I'm saying? You need some type of guys who's going to bring more fire to the fight than just Anthony Edwards. Because when I look at Anthony Edwards' ball, I just kind of see the same man. I see the same person, with the same, mentality, the same aggression. And it just seems like, that's all it is. It's either him or nothing. And they got the win, like I said, but let's see if they can string this, together. The role players seem to step up. Let's see if they can do this thing again. So, you guys tell me what y'all think on this. Who y'all got in game 5 as the Minnesota Timberwolves have forced this thing. So, you guys weigh in with your thoughts, comments, concerns. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. See you guys next time. Peace.